Hello, it's Tim with C&D Farms, and really don't have a lot for the farm vlog this week. Over the week it was kind of rainy, and due to my work schedule, still working full time, and will be working full time for uh, quite a long time, I foresee, before we can say that we're full time farmers or um, where we're up here, and this is our only source of income. But we are still trying to get up here. And kind of the question, if you kind of noticed the title this week was, should you buy a um, sawmill? And what I'm talking about is like um, a bandsaw mill, portable, that the small homesteader, farmer, hobby sawyer that may use. So my question is I'm not real sure if it's worth the money. And I'll kind of give you if you're new to our channel, you'll know, you won't know kind of the history. The ones that's been watching our channel, you'll know that we are starting a brand new homestead. And basically, I'm gonna kind of take the camera and pan around. Sun's kind of bright in my eyes. It's in the afternoon, but basically, so you kind of look. I bought a 135 acre farm that has no structures on it at all. So basically, I have a just a blank slate. So my question is, and I do have timber here, so I can cut some of my own wood. Um, some of it I may need to buy out, depending on which species of wood that I want. But I've got plenty of pine trees. I've got they're not quite to the mature age to where I could cut them to get a lot of useful boards out of them. But I do have some, and I do have some hardwood on the property that I could cut to use. So I've got a resource. My question is, and this is kind of to the YouTubers that may uh, click on this based off the title, or the ones that follow my channel. If you do have a sawmill, um, is it worth buying it? Would it be worth the investment to buy a small one? I'm not talking about one that has a lot of the hydraulics, because I know the prices can get on up into some of the higher ones I've seen with all the bells and whistles, the hydraulics and all of that can get up, over $25,000, $30,000. I'm talking about the small homeowner version, or the small version, the under 10 grand, and even some of them are even under 5 grand. So I understand that it's going to be a lot of manual labor, and I'm prepared for that. Actually, I'm think that's kind of what I want. I may change my mind after I do some, but that's kind of what I'm looking for. And my goal is initially I would have it for myself, because I've got a lot of different buildings that I need to build, um, that will go towards the farm. Sheds for the equipment, sheds for the livestock. I've got cows out here now that they're not mine, so we can kind of pan around and see there. You can see them in the background. They're over there. We have cows on the property now. Uh, but a cow doesn't necessarily need a shed or a structure to be in. Um, it's nice if you've got one. We do have a working pen on this to where we can sort them, and where they can be loaded into a trailer to be moved out. So we do have that. But if my goal is we're going to have small livestock, goats, maybe sheep, hogs, whatnot, chickens, all of those really need some type of shelter. So I can use the sawmill to get a lot of my lumber to build at least parts of those structures, or if not all of it. So that's my question is, for people that may have them, is it worth the investment? Um, the next question I've got is for people, and I just kind of want some opinions if somebody's got them, is um, what brand? The two I've been looking at, that I've really looked at a lot, I would say maybe three. is Wood Miser. That seems to be one of the bigger names. And Norwood, Norwood Mills, and Woodland Mills. So, um, and kind of what made me do this video, and I may even add this to the title, and I don't necessarily want it to be, I do want it to get, some hits because I really want questions answered, I've been watching, I watch a lot of different channels with today's stuff on TV. To be honest with you, I just like watching the YouTubers and the ones that do the vlogs because it's a whole lot better than what's on TV and a lot cleaner, and um, it's more family oriented. So, but keeping it Dutch, they had last week. He had a big controversy. People was kind of giving him a hard time about his little $20 sawmill, and it just got me to thinking when I watched it. Hey, they got a sawmill. They're going to build a lot. They're going to build like an off-grid thing. Would that work for me? I mean, could I use a sawmill? Another one I know that bought a sawmill. He actually bought one of the bigger ones, and he plans on using it to build a lot of his stuff. Was Stony Ridge Farmer. So I saw his video and I saw Keeping It Dutch here this week, and it just kind of really made me think. Would that be a good investment for my farm? I feel like it would. I feel like I could get, especially with the cost. If I use today's numbers with lumber, I know it would be a good investment because lumber is outrageous. But I also know that lumber may come down, and you also got to figure your time. But to me, that's what I want. I want to be I want to be here. I want to do things. The labor I put. If I'm investing in my farm, that's what I want. I see the time, the effort. I feel like I've accomplished something. I've built something. So that doesn't bother me. I know it's a factor, but it doesn't bother me that I would put that in there. And plus, I could use the scrap. Basically, the tree would come down, and I would use everything but the stump. If I cut it up into lumber, any of the leftover ends I could cut up for firewood because one of the other things I'm planning on doing is getting an outdoor wood boiler. The limbs, we can chip it, or I can use it as habitat for rabbits and like small brush piles. So everything would be used, and that's kind of the thing. Let's be sustainable. Let's be good stewards of what the Lord give us. So that's the reason. So if you got a comment on whether or not a sawmill is a good investment, please leave it below. And if you like our content, please subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. Share it with some of your friends that may be interested in this type of content. And for the ones, I know I didn't fully explain it. What we've got here is we've got a homestead that we bought. We sold some land. It was a little closer to the city. We've bought this farm, and we're starting basically with a blank slate. We're going to build a house. In fact, where I'm standing is kind of would be my backyard. The house would be right here. The sun's going to kind of get in the way, but right behind me is where the house would be, and that's the afternoon sun. So it's going to be at the front of the house. So this is what we got right here behind me. This is pretty much the farm. May be hard to see because it may be out of focus because I know the camera's kind of focused in on me, but all through there, if you can kind of see where the tall trees come up, but we own all the way to where the tall trees and everything in there is about 10-year-old planted pines, the same as that's right here behind me. All of that, it's planted pines. Then it's another pasture back behind that as well. So that's where we're at, and that's kind of what the question I've got for this week's video. Didn't really have a lot. We wasn't able to bush hog because we're waiting on our welder to get here. Hopefully that's gonna happen this week. And update on the house. Still talking to the contractors. Um, Hope to have that narrowed down and the final numbers and the contract and the spec sheet all put in place here within the next few weeks. I will say that right now with the price of lumber, I'm kind of impatient. I'm ready to go. But me and my wife was talking, and it may be the Lord's work to make it slow down, because maybe we can get the price of lumber will come down before we really actually get started, and that would actually be a blessing to us, because right now the contractors are saying the housing cost just on lumber alone, just based on my house alone, um, if they would have spec'd this house 6 months ago, um, the price would have been $15,000 less, $10,000 to $15,000 less, just because of the lumber prices. So I always try to. I've decided that every video I do, I'm gonna try to do something, uh, to glorify the Lord. Um, you know, some people will love that, and some people may dislike that, and if that's the ones that dislike it, I can't really. I wish you would stay, because I think it'd be, uplifting. Uh, but that may be the Lord telling me to slow down. He may say, "I'm doing this. My time."